Hey, hey, hey! What's up, everyone? How goes it tonight? The ding of success! We are live! Recommendation: add an option to add languages to the cards or a way to make a note if it's foreign. Oh! I will pass that along to Richard. Richard is the programming genius that does all that stuff, so I will pass it along to him with the suggestion to add something for foreign cards. That sounds like a pretty decent idea. Thank you for the follow, Vlad. Vlam? Something like that. What's up, everyone? How's it going? SCG Viewbot, Nate, Mez, K98, everyone. So yeah, we're gonna play some sweet modern today, hopefully. Yeah, Internal Masters looks awesome. So today we're checking out this sweet Temur Traverse the Ulvenwald deck. Made by Sam Black. He played it at the Magic Online Championship. So pretty much, we're looking to... What happened to Modern Cheerio Crystal Storm? That's still on my list, but we haven't done it yet. Oh, we will definitely draft some EMA once it comes out. I can't wait to draft it either. It looks pretty awesome. That's still on the list. We will do the Pure Steel Storm deck. Thank you, Paul. Or, yeah, Palazzo. So we're looking to turn on Traverse the Ulvenwald, use it to get Snapcasters, to get more Traverse the Ulvenwalds and Eternal Witnesses, to get back Snapcasters, to flashback Traverse the Ulvenwald, and then eventually we can Tarmogoyf or Tireless Tracker our way to victory. And then we have this really weird set of stuff to turn on Delirium. So we have Mishra's Bauble. We have Gutshot, Bolts, Seal of Fire, Tar Fire for the Goblin Tribal effect. Seal of Fire, of course, is an instant. So we have this weird array of card types to try to turn on Delirium. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's pretty sweet. Any plans on doing more Jund Ever After? I could see doing more of that at some point. Yeah, that was a pretty sweet deck. So we're going to jump into a Modern League here. Uh-oh, what's, is the music too loud or something? Is there a sound issue that I can help with? Okay. Well, let me know if something's wrong and I'll try to fix it. Oh, so Traverse. I should go over that. Vintage against the odds. I don't know. Traverse is 1 green mana sorcery. Search your library for a basic land, reveal it, and put it in your hand. But if you have Delirium, so 4 or more card types, which is why we're playing like Seal of Fire and Tar Fire and all these weird spells, then we can search for any land or a creature and put it in our hand. I just went mute? Huh. Well, hopefully you can still hear me. Anyway. Yeah, Vintage against the odds would be challenging. And it would mean I'd have to get all the Power 9 cards. I mean, I could borrow them if I needed to, but... So I don't know. Anyway, Modern League, Temur Traverse. Let's see if we can do a little better than... What did we do last night? 3 and 2? 2 and 3? Why 2 copies of Jace over the 4th Snapcaster? I guess for looting purposes? You'd have to ask Sam Black. I pretty much trust Sam Black when it comes to building crazy decks, because he is really good at building crazy decks. So I'm just pretty much trusting that he knows what he's doing. It does let us do the flashback, which is nice. So we'll see. Hopefully this deck is good. What's up, Jake? So also, we started at 6 tonight instead of 7. Usually we start at 7. I'm intentionally trying to not run up against the Community Super League. Because before we were starting at 7, they were starting at 8, and then it got awkward. So instead, we're going to go from 6 till like 8:30-ish. So then we'll only be overlapping with the Community Super League for a little while. And tonight is Momir night on Community Super League, and everyone seems to like Momir, so I figured that you all would probably want to see that anyway. I think Traverse is awesome, but how much do you think Jace will drop when it rotates? I think quite a bit. So yeah, so that's the plan. I think on Thursdays, potentially moving forward, we'll stick to 7 to avoid the suit, or stick till 6 instead of 7. Thank you for the follow, Shadow. To avoid the Community Super League, because I like that, and I don't want them to feel like we're competing with them or anything. Because it's a really good show, and people should watch it. Thank you for the follow, G-Man Gaming. Momir is not for everyone. Raph, thank you for the follow. Play Blue-Red Mill in Standard. Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I want to see how it goes on Community Super League. So, also, the usual reminders. We have more playmats in stock if you're interested. Thank you, everyone, for the follows. A whole string of follows. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we got more playmats in stock. There's a link below. Also, MTG Goldfish Replay on YouTube will find you more streams. Yeah, Oliver's been playing insanely well lately. I don't think it's freezing. I think we're just waiting for this league to start. The clock should be ticking up. I think it will go back up. I think it'll depend. It seems unlikely to be reprinted. Thank you, Matt, for the follow. It seems unlikely that Jace Friends Prodigy will be reprinted soon. Slayer, thank you for the follow. You're having freezing up problems? Excomotive, thank you. It is a very amusing fish. That's one thing we can say about the goldfish. MJG12, thank you. I swear, WOTC David M, I think he just sits at 4-0. I mean, it sees some Eternal play. X, thank you for the follow. So let's see this hand. Probe, Traverse, Bobble. Well, this seems pretty solid. We're pretty close to just turning on Delirium right away. Aces, thank you for the follow. And Mr. Ash as well. Thank you, everyone. Alright, so I believe I brewed up a blue-white Emirian Standard with a Miri Shepherd and Sword of the Animus to build your own Sun Titan. Ooh. That's pretty spicy. Well, I'm not sure about in Standard. In Modern, you can beat the Control Mirror because your Emiri is on a land, so they can't really kill it. The Commander Clash went pretty well. I think it was a pretty entertaining match. Part 2 of Shadows over Innistrad. Oh, this is... What? Why does this say no matching cards? Was it think I'm casting a Cabal Therapy? No matching cards in DPM 714's hand. Well, they got triple Gather the Townfolk, a Champion, a Thraben Inspector, and a Thalia. Interesting. So I guess we Mishra's Bobble, crack it. Look at the top card of our opponent's library, a Kytheon. Play a Wooded Foothills and pass the turn. Yeah, Moto's does what it likes. Last with Knives, how's it going? I've been trying to build a 5-color standard deck with all 5 manlands. Any ideas? Oh wait, where's my chat? Where are you, chat? There you are. Delph, thank you for the follow. So we get to draw a card off the bobble. Ooh, a Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt's actually sweet. Corona the False God EDH, that's sweet. You're getting a lot of freezing. Huh. And we don't have quality options right now. Is everyone getting a lot of freezing, or is it an internet issue, do you think? I think we can just get a mountain here and bolt the champion, which turns on Traverse. Ooh, Scalding Tarn, crack it. Get a Breeding Pool. Untapped. And we got the old 5/6 Tarmogoyf on turn 2. Well, the good news is we're going to get partnered soon with Twitch. And then you'll have the... Thanks for everyone for letting me know. And then we'll have quality options. So you'll have the ability to turn down the quality options if you're having trouble with freezing. So we're off to a good start. 5/6 Goyf on turn 2. Yeah, these these ones just came with the download. Well, let's attack with Tarmogoyf. Traverse for a Tarmogoyf. I think. Yeah, let's just get another Goyf. Stomping Ground, untapped. And so good old 10 power. This is a league, yes, a modern league. Good old 10 power on turn 3. You just have to stream a certain amount and also, like, consistently and get a certain number of viewers. We get plenty of viewers. It's just a matter of streaming consistently for X amount of time for them to partner us. Pandemonio, thank you for the follow. Well, so far this deck feels pretty sweet. We even got a Snapcaster for the blowouts. Another Snapcaster? Oh, we just got to get another Goyf, right? Swing with both. Snapcaster. Oh, we can't do it all this turn, though. Alright, put our opponent to 10. Let's just... Snapcaster. Get the Lightning Bolt. Bolt the Kytheon. And we'll play the land. I was thinking about holding it for tracker, but... Yeah, Sam Black is quite the brewer. Sam Black is one of my personal favorite deck builders. And that does it. Well, that deck seemed like the nuts right now. The mono white humans deck is actually sort of a thing in Modern. Steve Rubin was playing it at a tournament a couple weeks ago. So it is kind of an actual thing. Yeah, Bolt switched off to Lyrium, but I think that's alright. Yeah, it is a little bit Green Sun Zenithy. Yeah, Staticaster seems like the bee's knees. Probably want Swag Tusk. Maybe also Gut Shot. This song is Monkey Said by the Freak Fandango Orchestra, the Spanish band, or from Spain. Alright. What are we taking out in this matchup, you ask? Maybe just Mana Leaks? Stew! We're playing some Temur Traverse in Modern today. Mana Leak seems kind of slow. Maybe better. I don't know if it's better than Green Sun Zenith. Green Sun Zenith is pretty insane. No punt count yet. We're punt free. Last time we just had a 5-6 Goif on turn 2 and then another one on turn 3 and won easily. Alright. Well, we got Traverses. We just got, we need to achieve Delirium as quickly as possible. Bolt is nice. Let's untap Stomping Grounds, Bobble, crack, Bobble, Mutavault on top, pass the turn. Hey, SGN, awesome. Glad you could finally catch it live. We draw a Foothills. Gather the townsfolk. I don't really want to bolt tokens. Well, we might have to traverse for a land just to get a land in the graveyard? Or a sorcery in the graveyard? Yeah, let's Foothills, crack Foothills. Get a forest. Traverse. Get a... It probably doesn't matter much. I guess a mountain. And then just pass the turn and we can bolt something. Then next turn we can traverse for PN Karen. Ojitai is just going down because it isn't seeing much play right now and it's heading towards rotation. I'm doing well, Kostrog. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I don't know, Stu. This is Sam Black's list, so I'm just kind of running with what he was running. Yeah, maybe a Grizzly Salvage or something would be better. What are you guys fighting about? Jace Jace Friend's Prodigy dying to Doomblade? I get to Lightning Bolt the Mutavault. That's fine. Now we get to traverse. Get a... Tarmogoyf is appealing. But I kind of want to just... Do we just get Thragtusk? We could get Eternal Witness to next turn, get back. Next turn we're playing P and Karen Noir, though. Oh, Byron, well, thank you for stopping by, even if you can't hang out. You guys are really going to town over that Jace argument. Staticaster seems good as well. Alright, I'll get Staticaster. You sold me. Scalding Tarn, go. Oh, blown out. Who said Staticaster? ACC, thank you for the follow. Staticaster backfired. Well, let's bowl a token, crack Scalding Tarn, get a Steam Vents. Another land. Alright, Mountain. PN Karen Noir. Yeah, now I definitely wish we had not gotten Staticaster. That went incredibly bad. Yeah, bolding tokens is never fun. But PN Karen is pretty good stabilization. I really hope we draw a way to get our Traverse back. That's what we really want. I think we just take 2 here because we know we sack a Thopter to kill it next turn. So go down to 10. Relic. Alright. Annoying. I guess at least Staticaster is an 0-3 so it can block stuff. Thank you, TJ. Ugh, more lands. Alright. Let's do a bit of attacking. Put our opponent down to 17. We're not really winning this race, though. And Delirium is now turned off. Opponent goes to attacks. Alright, well, we're going to run out the Snapcaster anyway. Ugh, flooding! Well, let's get in with both Thopters, I guess. Pass the turn. Another relic. What's in our opponent's hand? They're mono white humans. They should have like a million 1-drops, and they're playing nothing. How about a Spell Mastery theme deck for the modern format? That could be sweet. I don't know if it'd be... Oh, the flood is real. We've drawn so many lands. Hey, what's up, Calamity? I'm glad we could stream early so you could make it before VSL. We're still sort of winning. Ish, maybe. Oh my god. Oh, so many lands. The card that generates human tokens is Gather the Townsfolk. Someone told me to search it up. Apparently our opponent is flooding as well, though. We don't have any fetchable lands left. Snapcaster for no value. Hey, Kuryoshi. Hello, you're noticed. You have officially been noticed. Nothing instant dies because I got Honor of the Pure. Well, I guess we'll get in for one. Yeah, I mean, Snapcaster is still okay if we can play it and block something. And we could always draw a spell, which would help. Our opponent is mega flooding as well. More Snapcasters. Oh, yeah, I think we could play Slivers sometime. Constructed Slivers. What an awkward game this ended up being. Thraben Inspector. That's actually a pretty good draw for our opponent. Yeah, they exiled our graveyard twice, so we don't really have anything to snap, unfortunately. Clue token sacked. Our opponent's going to start drawing action eventually. Kytheon also pumps up the champion. Goes to attacks. I think we're just going to block and then shoot down this token. Alright, Brave the Elements saves them. Was pretty sure they had that because they looked earlier like they were going to try to use it to save the Mutavault. And then realized it wasn't a white creature. Mostly because of that. Tireless Tracker is a solid draw. Tracker. Forest. Get a clue. And sack the clue. Pump up Tracker. Get a Tracker. Alright, let's pass. Leave up our Ambush Vipers. I was pretty sure that they had Brave the Elements that would have done what happened anyway. They would have been able to fizzle. They weren't playing anything. Brave the Elements was one hand that a card that would theoretically get stuck in their hand. Brave the Elements can be pretty annoying. Especially when you're playing all white creatures. So they're... Yeah, you don't think there's going to be a new format, Stu? Well, I mean, there's definitely not now, because they put the kibosh on that, but... Would have been sweet. I still think Modern or Eternal is a good idea. This is going to be interesting. Attack, attack, attack. They are going to flip Kytheon. Well, let's block champion, block the token, block... We can't kill the Kytheon. If we block with P and Karen... Alright, this is fine. We'll just shoot Thraben Inspector and take the 3, I think. Alright, we'll block like that. And then we'll shoot Thraben Inspector with the Thopter. They're playing mono white humans, which is sort of a deck. What do you think of this deck, Stu? Isn't this a deck that Steve made? Or at least was playing? Do you think this is a real deck in Modern? There's the Brave the Elements. So they had multiple Brave the Elements. It's going to be... we're down to 6. I don't know how we're going to get in these last points of damage. Gideon flips. Makes champion indestructible. Plays land. They got to be about out of action, though. Rest in peace. Well... Now we are officially graveyard-less. Let's lead on Probe. Probe our opponent, not paying life. Another Rest in Peace in hand. Well, Tireless Tracker, Island, get a couple clue tokens. Play a Jace, and pass the turn. Well, at least they don't have another Brave the Elements. We can't really beat... Well, Brave the Elements would be annoying. We can block because we have enough colors of creatures, but it's still annoying. And they're going to start kind of abyssing us to some extent with Gideon and Champion. Yep. We can't even flip Jace. What does this deck do that Affinity doesn't do better? Well, I think Brave the Elements is better in this deck. So there's always that. Yeah, Rest in Peace means our graveyard stuff is really locked down. But double Tireless Tracker is solid. I like the Tireless Tracker, Clue Token, / P and Karen synergy. That is another way of winning the game. Unfortunately, we've already played like all of our lands. Nice 0-1 Goyf. Well, Misty, get a couple clue tokens. Oh, thank you for the follow, whoever that was. I just missed the name. And then we can loot with Jace. Bolt is good. I think we just pitch the Tarmogoyf. Then let's Thought Scour, targeting our opponent. Eternal Witness, also not exciting. Can we even attack yet? Not really. I guess we might as well play Eternal Witness, since we're not getting rid of that Rest in Peace anytime soon. Pass the turn. I think we just try to win with Tireless Tracker. And our opponent scoops it up. Alright, well, 2-0 in round 1. Not bad. Deck seemed pretty sweet so far. I don't know if that deck, the humans deck, is actually any good, but we cruised right through that one. Yeah, Tracker is pretty absurd. That's for sure. Hey, thanks, Beluga Bob. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we didn't have any more fetch lands, or any more lands to fetch there. We already did that once. Yeah, we're trying a friendly one this time. It is pretty bad when it gets bolted. Alright. Round 2. The deck seems fun to play. Did you see that league? I think it said Jerry Thompson Mox. M-O-C-S. Oh. Alright, we're going to try this. If we can find a land, triple Goyf is insane. And we have a Jace. I don't know if we'll get any Momir today or not. We'll have to see when the league ends. If we have time for a match at the end of the league, yeah. We started early today because Community Super League is playing Momir tonight. Alright, Crack Bobble. Colonnade on top. Ooh, this is a control deck of some kind. Well, if we hit a land here, this should be pretty good. Come on, any land. Oh! The handful of Goyfs. Oh, no! Oh. Well, this is what it's like to die with 4 Goyfs in hand. And another spell snare. Oh. Yeah, the greed is real. This hand is expensive. That's for sure. We'll just discard Tireless Tracker. Yeah, Cabal Therapy would be very bad here. Opponent cracks Delta. We are filling our graveyard. We can probably activate Delirium. Oh, come on, lands. Now our Goyfs are going to start getting Cryptic. Mana leak. Oh, alright. We're sticking with the discard and eventually play Goyf's 4 turns in a row plan. Alright, Goyf 1. And Cryptic Command, or Remand, even worse. Whoa! No counter? What is our opponent's deck? How can they not have counters? Well, that was good. I can't believe they didn't have a counter. They don't really want a path here because that gives us a land. It seems silly to let it resolve and then path. But, okay, we'll take it. Witness, alright, let's get in with Goyf. Are they going to kill it? Alright, well, we don't have anything else to do. Might as well keep playing Goyfs. Goyf number 2 is down. They could definitely have Supreme Verdict. They might just be extremely flooded. That could be true. They just have a ton of lands. They definitely have a lot of Celestial Colonnades. Are we going to win this? Another bolt? Now they're going to path one. Alright. Well, at least we get a land. I wouldn't even mind Declaration in Stone that much. Oh, they just have a bunch of paths. Alright, well, that actually works out. And Goyf number 4, or 3, sorry, Goyf number 3. So far, the 4 Goyf hand is beating the 4 Colonnade hand. Esper Charm to draw 2. We get to flip Jace real quick, too, if it lives. Now we actually have mana and, like, Spell Snare. Colonnade is a fast clock. Now, Supreme Verdict. Alright, they are fighting through our Goyfs. Um, is this Esper Teachings? Jace. And Goif number 4. Now they're going to counter. Bounce and counter. How does our opponent win the game? I'm so confused. Yeah, I'm glad there wasn't a detention sphere. That would have been really bad. This might be Esper Teachings. I'm really not exactly sure what they're doing. Let's see. Well, I think we're just going to slam P and Karen. Let's see if our opponent ever casts the Teachings. Yeah, gifts could be a possibility. Well, it looks like we're about to find out. They're going to do something. Oh, is this Rev? Oh, God. Rev X6. That is really bad. This is the Freak Fandango Orchestra. Can I show these Fallout-inspired token my 13-year-old cousin drew? Yeah, sure. As long as you can put a link to that, as long as it's safe, sure. Yeah, it feels really bad when an opponent revs X6. Feels like there's no way you can win after that. And that might be true. They gotta have so many good things in their hand. So this is just straight blue Esper control, I guess? Stormhawk, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Alright, Cryptic. Well, let's leak the Cryptic. Opponent main deck negates. Now, this isn't a matchup I really thought we were going to run into. Another land for our opponent. And Elspeth? Oh. Yeah, Elspeth is going to be hard to beat. Well, I think we got a Bolt Elspeth's death. Unfortunately. Steam Vents pass the turn. We don't have a way to beat Colonnade over the long game either. Sometimes you get matches faster because there's a lot more people in friendly leagues, but that's the main one. We got a discard too. Yeah, we got to win faster if we're gonna win this matchup. Just mono counterspell control. It doesn't seem good for us. If they ever start just firing up Colonnade, I don't think we can win. Down to 15. Bobble. Crack it. Opponent has a Delta on top of their library. Eternal Witness. Another Rev. Oh, White Sun Zenith? Alright. Well, this deck is super slow. Do we have anything? Well, Negates seem good. Archmage, Keranos seems good. I don't know about Staticaster. Maybe Thragtusk? Keranos seems excellent. What are we going down? Rexage for Yeah, I guess D-Sphere is a thing. I think our main goal is to be faster. I don't think we can really out-control this deck. Thragtusk is resilient. It's not a bad tutor target. We probably definitely don't want Gut Shot. Do we even want Lightning Bolts? Gut Shot is fast. They gotta have Remands or Leaks, don't they? I think they gotta have Remands or Leaks. And Bolt seems bad. But then our Snapcasters are getting worse. What's up, Naz Smith? Alright, we'll try it like that. This might just be a bad matchup. I'm not sure. We definitely got to be faster. Alright. We get a quick Goyf. That's something. So, Misty, Crack Misty. Get a Stomping Grounds tapped. Bobble, Crack Bobble. Oh, Rev on top. Well, it would be nice to find a negate for that Rev. There's Thragtusk. Oh no. Inquisition. Thoughtseize is pretty annoying. Probably takes our Goyf. I think this hand was alright. We had a redraw. We had a Goyf for pressure on turn 2. And we hadn't seen any discard. They might have sideboarded in the discard. We didn't see any Thoughtseizes or Inquisitions in game 1. Just Esper Charm. ZZ, thank you for the follow. Definitely appreciate it. Another Bobble. Crack it. Delta on top. Alright, Breeding Pool tapped. Go. Hey, awesome WWE fan. Thank you for following on YouTube, too. Dark Magi, how goes it tonight? Good to see ya. Alright, Snapcaster is reasonable-ish. I would like to turn on this Traverse somehow. Ooh, Archmage is pretty awesome. How do we need an instant. Alright, let's just pass. I almost wonder if this deck could use Loot House. Loot House seems like it could be reasonable. Is Cheon on the rampage? Oh, what's Cheon playing today that's making him so angry? Oh, thank you, ZZ. Tireless Tracker is pretty sweet. I really like that card. Alright. That works. So, yeah, let's Seal of Fire. I think we're just gonna crack it. Sack Seal of Fire. And then we can Traverse. And gets negated. Island, go. We'd like to be able to resolve Archmage with one more mana. I mean, we got good stuff to tutor for. I don't know if it's awesome stuff, but... Another land. Foil Flooded Strand. And Rune Halo. What are they naming with Halo? Name's Thragtusk. Alright. Well, Wooded Foothills. Oh. Actually, let's crack this first. Crack Wooded Foothills. Get a mountain. And then Archmage. Oh, really? They actually have a counter here. Oh, think twice? Alright. Think twice isn't so scary. Alright, that's good. Glenelindra seems awesome in this matchup. Just countering 2 non-creatures is pretty strong. And now we can, like, Snapcaster back there to... Ooh, and a negate? Well, let's start attacking. Flashes back Think Twice. Why now? Well, let's just Snapcaster. What do you think the latest spoilers for Eternal Masters? What are the latest spoilers? Have I missed any of them since I've been streaming? This is the Effed Up Beat is the band. I think we're just gonna take... Man, so many good options. Rexage gets rid of Halo. If we resolve a Keranos, we win. Jace also seems pretty good here, too. It loots and flips, and we have protection. Oh, Winter Orb is awesome. What does Witness do, though? Get back Tarmogoyf? I saw Mom at Rare. I did not see Swords at Uncommon, although I assume that that would probably make it in the set. Yeah, Jace seems fine. Yeah, Winter Orb back to the old style, which is awesome. I'm glad they fixed that. We don't have any lands for Tracker right now. I think Jace is a fine option here. Because we want things that we can leave up our Glenelindra Archmage. It's going to be hard to lose if we're just leaving up counters constantly. Alright, so Jace, Bobble, Crack Bobble, Cryptic on top, and I don't think we attack here because of Colonnade. Yeah, Mana Crypt is an awesome reprint. I'm a huge Winter Orb fan. It's not quite as good as Stasis, but it's a good way to play fun Magic. Well, what's our opponent doing? Are they going for a Rev? Alright, well, we're definitely going to counter the Rev with our Archmage. We get to draw another Snapcaster, solid. I'm guessing that Port isn't in at this point, but I guess it's not impossible. Alright, there's Supreme Verdict. Can't do much about that. Alright, let's Goyf. Keep the pressure up. Our opponent's down to 10. Down to 9, so we don't need too many hits to win with the Goyf. We know they have a Cryptic as one of their cards. If they have another Rev, that's kind of okay, because we have Negate. Yeah, Goyf, we need our Tarfire for even more Goyfage. Ooh, Thought Scour? Let's see. Let's attack with Goyf. Opponent's down to 3, and we took out our bolts, of course. Yeah, let's just pass for now. They're probably going to rev here. Doesn't look like rev. Oh, they're going to cryptic bounce the Goyf? Rev X1? Alright, I guess Rev X1 is approved. Oh, we're not going to fight over that. Cryptic, bounce and draw. Alright. We'll let that go as well. Another land for our opponent. This guy apparently has many revs. The answer is many. Gonna force burn in EMA draft? Alright, well, let's negate the Elspeth. And then Thought Scour. Might as well mill ourselves. Another Goyf. And a Scalding Tarn. Well, that's good. Now we can Goyf as a 7/8. Man, we are a Tarfire away from having maximum Goyf. The old 8/9 Goyf. Brando, thank you for the follow. Alright, draw 2. Tarn was a good draw because it lets us leave up Snapcaster Negate. Another land. Opponent passes. There's a tracker. Well, let's attack with our Goyf, see what our opponent can do. Oh, is this block with Colonnade? That's good news. Let's just play another Goyf and do the same thing. Now block with Colonnade is not an out. Radley Pawns, thank you very much for the follow. Over Goyf. And alright, we got there that game. We kind of out-controlled our opponent. Yeah, it seemed to go pretty well. These spell snares do seem kind of good, though. Ganra, thank you for the follow. Yeah, naming Thragtusk was a little ambitious. Shoe4, thank you for the follow. We'll bring in another. We'll bring in a spell snare. Maybe go down. Yeah, we'll leave the leagues. Let's try it like that. Ruined Halo is ambitious. If I take out Tarfire and Seal of Fire, how do we get a 8/9 Goyf? Which is kind of our overarching goal anyway. +2+. Actually, it's pretty important that we can turn on Delirium. So that's a real reason we need to leave in some of those cards. But also, I want to see how big we can get a Goyf. MTG Goyf Fish. Very good, very good. Winning. What's that? Our opponent's still sideboarding. Whoever has the biggest Goyf wins. That's the rules of Magic. I am very excited for Eternal Masters. I think it looks very good. I don't think it's going to be crazy positive EV, but it looks very solid. Dixalt, thank you for the follow. Oh, Lord. How greedy can we get? We got 2 baubles to find us lands. I'm not going to be that greedy. Ooh, this hand's actually pretty good. Forest to the bottom. Yeah, I'm not that greedy. We're going to get hit by discard. Thoughtseize, gotta take Goyf. DJ Drew 69, thank you for the follow. We got the Goyf and the Seal of Fire to grow our Goyf. And our opponent's helping us out with a Thoughtseize. Actually, Traverse is also a sorcery, so... maybe they take Traverse. They take a Goyf. Alright, Mountain, Seal of Fire, go. Can they just counter our Goyf on turn 2? Or do they have another discard spell? Alright, let's probe for life. Path, Rev, and lands. Ooze. Alright, Wooded Foothills, crack it. Get a... are we gonna go all basics? No, you can't go all basics, can we? We need double red for P and Karen. Double blue for nothing. I guess we'll get Steam Vents. No, we need green. Yeah, we'll just get a forest, that's fine. Play the Ooze. Yeah, turn 3 Delirium is not bad. So if we can... what we want to have happen is our opponent to use their path on our Scavenging Ooze. And then we want to flip a Jace, I think is the goal. Ooh, Tireless Tracker? Well, let's get in with our Ooze. Sack, Seal of Fire. Traverse. Get a Jace. Island. Jace, go. Now, they probably have to path our Jace at some point, unless they just drew into a Supreme Verdict. That would be the worst thing that could happen. Hey, thanks, Dixalt, and thank you for hanging out on the stream. Yeah, path the Jace. Now we can get another island? Yeah, that makes the most sense. We'll get an island. Ooh, Scalding Tarn is... if we can resolve Tireless Tracker, that's a big game. Get in with Ooze. Tell me you didn't draw a counter. Tracker. Tarn. Get a clue. And pass the turn. Hey, thanks, Lodix TV. All the way from Switzerland. Switzerland sounds pretty awesome. I may have to go there someday. I can get the list for you. I have it somewhere. I think we're winning. We do want to be aware of them having the Rev. But Rev for 2 isn't that bad. Once they get to Rev for 3, it's a little better. There's the list. Opponent's passing. Well, let's crack Tarn. Get a... Stomping Grounds, untapped. Get a clue. Sack a clue. Draw a bobble and a bobble. Well, we can present lethal here. Let's see. Let's sack a clue. If we can draw a negate, I think we're guaranteed to win, or very likely to win. Thragtusk. Cricky. Thank you for the follow. Go attacking. Exile our Goyf. Well, at least this forces them to Rev X2, which isn't the greatest Rev. And then they drop back down to 2. Now I think we just bobble, bobble, crack bobble. They're drawing a Delta, crack bobble. We're drawing a bobble, and pass the turn. Well, what good does that do, though? We're going to draw the same card either way. I mean, yeah, I could look at it, but... Traverse is a good draw. Do we still have Delirium? We do. Did they draw a Wrath? Alright, there's the verdict. Well, I think we... Tarmogoyf, Jace, go. I thought it said we were drawing a bobble, but I must have misread it. Do we want to traverse for something here? Yeah, we can wait. I don't think we have to traverse right now. Hopefully, they don't have another Wrath. They can't Thoughtseize. Esper Charm to draw. They're searching for the Wrath. What's the funniest deck I've played on against? Oh, they found it. Alright, they found another verdict. Well, the only good news is we get to untap and slam a Thragtusk. The funniest deck from against the odds? That's a really good question. Maybe the Knowledge Pool lock one? I don't know if that's funny. I found it funny. Our opponents probably did not. Thragtusk gives us some Wrath protection if they find the third one. And we got the GGs. Well, apparently Temur Traverse is actually good. Yeah, the pingening was pretty hilarious. Squirrels, also funny. I guess there's been a lot of funny against the odds decks. That's kind of the point of against the odds. Alright, up to 2-0. Not bad. Sam Black said he had a problem killing opposing Goyfs. Yeah, I could see that being annoying. I did not consider Yarrow over Knowledge Pool, but it could work. Yeah? We are 40% of the way to a 5-0. Slowly but surely. Biovisionary was... Yeah, I guess there's been a lot of them that I've liked. Yes, it is the voice of Goldfish. I guess that is me. It getting salty is one of the best parts of Commander Clash, in my opinion. Yes, I have the Primal Surge footage. I just haven't actually published it yet. I have to. Please get Overwatch. Is Overwatch good? Should I be getting Overwatch? A Shifting Flames Insanity deck for Commander. Yeah, I recorded matches of this Primal Surge combo deck I built a while ago, and then it was going to be for this like Deck Doctor type series, and then that series hasn't got off the ground. So I still just have the footage of it. Bananas! OP! OP! Thanks for the follow. Yes, I gotta publish it. I don't know what to publish it under. It definitely feels like Against the Odds, but the videos aren't edited like Against the Odds. So maybe I'll just publish them under, who knows, some random name. Except, I think it was better than some Against the Odds decks, at least. It wasn't just, like, completely janky. It could actually win on occasion. I don't know if it would win consistently, but Overwatch is pretty good. Yeah, Commander Clash is fun. I enjoy Commander Clash. Alright, on to round 3 on the quest for 5-0. We got the all-cycler hand. I guess that's fine. Sure. We'll keep it. Goldfishing while you watch Goldfish. I mean, it's pretty Against the Odds, but it gets there sometimes. Well, Probe reveals. Oh, this is Storm? Ay! Oh, God. I don't know if we can beat Storm. Grape Shot, Ascension, Past in Flames, Manamorphose, Island, Electro. Yikes. Suddenly, we are in trouble. Bobble. Target ourselves. Yeah, pre-board seems very rough. Witness on top. Alright, let's Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Opponent's going to crack a Bloodstained Mire. Get a Mountain. Bobble. Crack Bobble. Opponent has, another Manamorphose. They're pretty close to just storming off. Yikes. I don't think we can beat this hand. It gets a little better once we get counter spells. Oh, and we draw 2 lands. Yeah, our odds of winning this game are very close to 0. Ascension. I mean, I guess we could draw counters. Sort of gives us an out, but well, Misty, crack it. Forest. 3/4 Goyf. All we can really do is hope to apply pressure, but with double Manamorphose and Past in Flames and Grape Shot in hand, it's going to be really hard to win. I don't know if they kill us this turn. They might wait one more turn, but they're pretty close to just killing us. Their draw is really solid. Stoked 166. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I mean, the combo is we do need to have pressure. We're not going to win without having pressure. There's Electro. I don't think they go for it this turn. Maybe they do. Even with Electro, I don't think it's that likely they win this turn. Yeah, they just pass. Which means we get to bolt the Electromancer. Misty, crack it. Yeah, you're right. He did tap wrong. Get an island. Jace. Thanks for the follow. And get in for 5. I still think we're dead, but with their hand is Manamorphose, Grape Shot, and Past in Flames. And whatever they drew. Maybe not. Glenelendra is in the board, so we can't get a Glenelendra yet. We don't really have anything in the main deck. Our Reclamation Sage is also in the board. I guess we just hope they draw lands. We had to kill the Electromancer. If we didn't kill the Electromancer, that would have been. They would have been Past in Flames-ing. Shazu, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we're just hoping they fizzle, essentially. It's not impossible. Yeah, I think we had to kill Electro there. I don't think we could have just traversed for Goyf. Oh. Wow, that's all they got? Well, we're still drawing live. If that's all our opponent got, we are still in this game, sort of. Snapcaster can get a bolt. Alright, well, let's loot with flip Jace. Pitch. Let's pitch a Stomping Grounds. Jace flips. What can we traverse for that matters? Well, let's traverse. I don't think we have any good one-ofs that just win us the game here. Ooh, Ooze. Oh, we don't have enough green mana for Ooze to leave up an activation. Ooze would be good. I mean, Ooze is good if we can keep living, which I guess we probably can now, maybe. So, yeah, let's get Ooze. I guess we can flash. Allegedly, thank you for the follow. Flash back their traverse. And get the second Jace, maybe? And I think we're going to attack. Watch our opponent block with 6. 97! I'm glad you finally caught me. They are. They're going to go for the holes. 6 goblin block. Oh, alright. Yeah, if we can make it one more turn without Ascendancy coming on, then we have Ooze to keep it from coming on, hopefully. They might not be able to get it on this turn. We know one of the cards, we know they have a Grape Shot and a Past in Flames, so they only have one unknown card. Yes, the whole 6 goblin block seemed ambitious there. I think if they went on the offensive, they might have been able to beat us. Another Ascension. Wow, we're going to win this game. Our opponents just got a Grape Shot. They got nothing going on. Gut shot. Alright, well, we're definitely oozing. Empty, let's see. Let's get, how do we do this? Let's pump up the Jace. I think we're just gonna exile the Manamorphoses. That seems like the easiest way they turn on their Pyromancer Ascension. Pass the turn. Yeah, both Manamorphoses are down. Bearded Magician, thanks for the follow. Sleight of Hand, alright. So our opponent needs another Sleight of Hand or a Grape Shot. Serum Visions. Well, let's see if they get their Ascensions activated. If we can dodge them doubling up and getting them activated, then we should be able to control their graveyard with Ooze and just win. Ooze is sort of pressure. We know two of their cards are Past in Flames and Grape Shot. The Woo 13. Thank you very much for the follow. And those aren't great here. And we can potentially flashback something with Jace, flip Jace, flashback something else with Jace. Floyd, thank you for hanging out. We'll be back Tuesday as our next stream. This is our last one for the week. Uh-oh. What do they have? Alright, well, we know their hand. They're just going to Grape Shot right now and kill our stuff. Alright. There's the Grape Shot. Gonna go after our Ooze. All they have left in hand is Past in Flame, though. What are they gonna kill? Ooze? All at Ooze? Is that what that's telling me? Are they worried about Brute Force? Playing around Brute Force? Yup, that was old all at the Ooze plan. Alright, what do we draw? Bobble. Well, looking at the top card of their library is actually helpful here. They are drawing a Desperate Ritual. So they can Ritual... Interesting. Well, let's flashback... Let's flashback the Bolt, kill the Electromancer. Loot with Jace, flip Jace, discard, I guess Steam Vents. And I think we're going to flashback our Probe to draw a card. Yeah, Storm probably isn't the best starter deck. Just the Past in Flame. Bobble. Well, let's see what's on top of our deck. A Bolt. Bolt. I don't know if we want the Bolt. Scalding Tarn. I guess we just pass the turn. Was really hoping to find a counter. Can they go off here? Desperate Ritual, Past in Flames. Alright, let's crack this. I don't really want the bowl. I want to find a counter, preferably. Or a Steam Vents and a Traverse. Alright. Let's see what happens. I don't know if they can really go off here, though. They only have 2 mana. And if they cast back Desperate Ritual, they won't have any blue mana. So they just, like, mini Grape Shot, which doesn't seem that good. So they just, like, Past in Flames, Sleight of Hand, Serum Vision. No IRL Magic this weekend, Stu. That's a bummer. Alright, there's Sleight of Hand. Two hours is a long way for an IQ. Yeah, we're definitely bringing in Glenelendra. It's a little slow, but we will definitely bring it in. It's in the sideboard. Artifact creature. Yeah, you're right. We do not have... Well, we can Gut Shot to turn it on. So we can activate Delirium. Goblin token is going after Jace. Hey, what's up, Jay Welsh? How was your cube draft? Ah, I love cube drafting. One of my favorite formats. Let's Gut Shot the Goblin. Malcolm Jr., thank you for the follow. Well, pump up Jace. Traverse. One, two, three, 1, 2. Do we just go Pia and Karanalar and try to win that way? How much green mana? 1, 2, 3. Not enough to get back and play Ooze. No Rex Sage in the main deck. We can witness back like a bobble, I guess. Well, P and Karanalar. Steam Vents untapped. Pass the turn. I think this presents lethal next turn. Oh, Upheaval is the best card in Cube. Oh, awesome, Calamity. First GP ever. That's exciting. Opponent probes. Down to 9. I mean, either our opponent can kill us or they can't. Oh, they had 2 probes? Now we are likely dead. 1 mythic left as far as I know, unless one has been revealed while I've been streaming. So playing Pia and Karanalar there lets us present lethal. We can play Snapcaster, attack with everything, hit for 6, and then sack our 2 Thopter tokens. When Goyf wouldn't have been lethal by itself. So pretty much we want our opponent to be dead next turn. Our opponent's dead next turn anyway. I mean, we're probably not going to live till next turn, but... Our opponent is storming off. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's possible that Caracas is the white one. It could also be that they're not counting that as a white mythic, and then we'd need another white mythic. I don't know for sure if Caracas is the white one, but I think it's possible. I think Urborg was counted as a black one. Yeah, I guess I could just scoop. They can flashback Past in Flames, play rituals and stuff, and then Grape Shot. Thanks for the follow, Fitzjimmer. Alright, so negates come in, Rex Sage, Glenalendra, Grafdigger's Cage, Bajukabog. And going down, probably Pian Cairnalar. I'm not really interested in trying to win by clock. It doesn't make for compelling viewing to go for the make the opponent use up their clock plan. Alright, go down a couple bolts, go down the gut shot. And probably the tireless trackers. And try it like that. Yeah, I don't think Goyf is going to be reprinted in Eternal Masters. Oh, it's possible they would mess up. That's true. I think Goyf will be in the next Modern Masters, potentially. At this point, it's basically confirmed that Goyf isn't in this Eternal Masters. Alright, Bobble. Crack Bobble. Probe on top. Stomping Grounds. Tarfire. Oh. Heh, never mind. Pass the turn. For some reason, I was thinking it was, that was equipment, not the Tarfire. Or enchantment, rather. We get a Misty. Misty's fine. Let's us fetch up blue mana next turn. Balance is the white mythic, but there's usually two. There's usually two of each color, or at least in this set, there's two of each color. Yeah, Balance pretty much has to be mythic. It seems pretty good. I don't know, it is Sam Black that originally built this deck. So he was the one that made the call on the 4 trackers. They'll reprint Damnation eventually. Probably in like a Modern Masters. Could even be a standard legal set. I don't think you need to rush to sell Shocklands right now, no. Alright, we're gonna try to, let's Misty, crack it, get an island. Run the Goyf out there. So we're gonna try to get down a clock and then just use our mana leak and negate to keep our opponent off their plan. So unless they can go off on turn 2 on the draw, which seems really unlikely, you need quite the draw from Storm. Easy, thank you for the follow. Delta cracks it. They're firm on that right now, but it could definitely change in the future. There's Ascension. More counters. Alright. Get in with Tarmo. Spell Snare would have been sweet if it was countering Ascension. Alright, hopefully they can't just turn on their Ascension. That would be the worst thing that could happen. Well, there's the sleight of hand. Thanks for the follow, whoever that was. I just missed the name, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Casualty Booth, thank you. You would have negated the sleight of hand? Really? They're still getting the counter. Do you think people start playing Legacy more? Is it just time for Eternal Masters is around? I think some people will start playing more. You would have negated the sleight of hand? Really? They're still getting the counter. Alright, well, we're going to spell Snare Manamorphose. That's for sure. Tarfire. Oh, so close. We're one Goyf hit short. Land. Get in with Goyf. Well. Can our opponent kill us with 1 mana? Or with 1 life? They have 4 mana. They also have to do it through double counter spells. Ritual. Alright, we'll mana leak the ritual. I think we might have it with our counterspell backup. I think we just counter whatever this is and it's over. They could reprint Fire Blast. That's a definite possibility. Alright, we survived Game 2 against Blue-Red Storm. I don't think I've seen Fire Blast announced. What price do you think a box of Eternal Masters will have? I don't think it'll be any higher than it is right now. I think it's at its peak. I would expect somewhere between MSRP at like $250 and up to $300. Yeah, Firebolt was announced. Yeah, I think that it could go down a little from there. That's true. If you're trying to get into Legacy, singles is definitely better than buying boxes. Opponent probes. Yeah, I mean, between 250 and 280 isn't horrible. Ooh, there's Archmage if we can get to it. Foothills, go. Yeah, there's definitely a ton of goodies for Commander players. Come on, no Ascension. Oh, Tormenting Voice. Sweet. Whoo! What's up, Blade Master? Or Blade Man? I think we're in alright shape now. Get a Steam Vents. Now we might be able to keep them from... Ooh, and a negate? Alright. Well, I think we're favored. With this hand, I'm feeling very good about things. And a fan of Ancestral Mask, and tons of Enchantresses. Yep, gotta get that clock down with Snapcaster. Stream City 2000, thanks for the follow. Delta. Cracked. Untapped. Alright, they're down to 17. Yeah, Gaia's Cradle is the sticking point for elves. Opponent probes down to 15. Well, we have a handful of counters that they gotta maneuver around somehow. I'm not going to counter Sleight of Hand. The Gothian Enchantress being mythic. I think it would have been fine at rare, but I don't know. It is expensive and a legacy staple. I don't know if being Shroud. I think it would have been fine at rare, but I don't know. It is expensive and a legacy staple. I don't know if being Shroud, costing 2 mana and having Shroud is a good justification for being mythic when a lot of other cards are rares, but it is an upgraded version of a rare. It seems odd that the White Enchantress was downgraded to uncommon in the same set that they bumped up that one. Common Emperor Crocodile, I think, is fine. Emperor Crocodile just isn't actually that good. So I think it's good. I mean, I like things like that being downgraded to common to hopefully help Pauper or shake up Pauper. Well, they're going to get one spell off their Electromancer if they want it before we bolt it. Yeah, Big Jace is a good mythic reprint. I'm glad that one's in the set. That's a card that people will never get enough of. Survival of Fittest for green mythic. Alright, let's crack Misty. Get an island. Bolt Electromancer. What's up, Manomars? How you doing tonight? Yeah, bolt with counterspell up. And then counter the ritual, I think. Ooh, they're gonna crack? Interesting. I don't think there are basic lands. Alright, we'll mana leak a ritual. I don't think they can go off with just 3 mana. Maybe they can. I'm doing pretty well as well. We might be about to go 3-0 in this league. This has been a long match against Storm. So they got 3 mana. What can they do with it? They're just going to grape shot us. We actually have a huge blowout play. Oh, man, I forgot. We don't even need Traverse to get... Oh, if we can get Delirium turned on, we can search up a Bajuka Bog and exile the graveyard. And then I feel like we're in super good shape. We're already in decent shape, but we really need one more type in our graveyard. And then get Bajuka Bog for the win. Yeah, this grape shot's fine. They kill our clock, but that's okay. We're also 1 land away from getting down Archmage. Well, kind of 2 lands. Spell Snare. Alright, let's pass. It only gets basic lands until you have Delirium. Without Delirium, it only gets basics. But then, once you have Delirium, then you can get any land or any creature. And I'm still one short. I got 2 instants, a Snapcaster, and 2 lands. Yeah, I gotta leave the mana up. Serum Visions is fine. Pretty much, we can't let them resolve Past in Flames or an Ascension. Otherwise, they can kind of do whatever they want. And I don't especially care. Our opponent's also down to under 4 minutes. So that could end up working in our favor as well if they just run themselves out of time. I guess we should just counter defense grid. Yeah, our opponent, they might be new-ish to Storm. Alright, well, crack Scalding Tarn, get an island, run out Glenelender Archmage, pass the turn. That's an Electromancer. Alright. Well, they only have 2 cards in hand, so Electromancer isn't that scary. Oh, and we drew a Goyf? Goyf is a good draw. Get in for 2. Play the Goyf. Leave up. Double counterspell. Manamorphose. Okay. Land. Well, they only have 2 cards and we have 2 counters, so that is true. That is true. That is famous last words, but in this situation, it's really not that scary. We just have so many counters. Alright, well, we definitely need to counter Past in Flame. So our opponent's down to 1 card in hand. Alright, they crack Flooded Strand. This has been the longest match against Storm I've ever played. Alright, they get a little empty. I'm almost tempted to negate one of... Yeah, let's negate one of the copies. We still haven't got Delirium on. Another Forest. Alright, attack for 1. Oh, I wish we had Delirium. Forest, go. Serum Visions. Are they keeping them on top? What was in the Moto update? I don't really know. Apparently it broke trading. Alright, Desperate Ritual. Alright. Past in Flames. We have a bunch of different ways to get Delirium, but... Opponent's gonna do a bit of attacking. and changes their mind. Ah, Bobble, we got there! Oh, that was perfect timing. Let's look at the top card of our opponent's library. Oh, no! Oh my god! I swear they scried to the top. I swear they left a card on top. They did. They put a mountain on top of their library. Why? Why would you put a mountain on top of your library? I cannot see any reason to put a mountain on top of your library. Tag with Goyf. Traverse. They have a mountain on top of their library. How do we guarantee we win this game as soon as possible? Yeah, they definitely next leveled me. Bladed Thief says, thank you for the follow. I might just get Snapcaster. I'm gonna just get Snapcaster. Snapcaster lets us leave up a counter, and if we don't need to counter, we can flash it back for the Traverse again next turn. So our opponent draws a mountain that we knew about. Flashes back Desperate Ravings. Okay. Discards an island. Sleight of Hand. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. Yeah, we have an Is It Staticaster in the sideboard. I just didn't bring it in because I wasn't super worried about the Goblin tokens, but maybe I should have been. Our opponent's down to 4. Oh, we are so close. We need to get in. We need our gut shot. We are a gut shot away. And negate's fine. Keep attacking. Yeah, our opponent 1 mountain short. No wonder they left that mountain on top. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. What were they thinking? Like, oh, I can discard this to my Desperate Ravings? Was that really their plan? Full God Master of Iron, thank you for the follow. Draws, discards with Ravings, discards a Ritual. They also have not found an Ascension this entire game. Draws, discards with Ravings, discards a Mountain. Not tonight. Possibly at some point, but not tonight. I tried to do the stream early tonight because I didn't want to run up against Community Super League. Alright, I think we're actually going to counter Echoing Truth, because I kind of want to keep attacking with that Goyf. Yeah, even if they did storm off, they probably wouldn't be able to win, honestly. Alright, a miniature Grape Shot. Do we lose to a second Grape Shot? I don't think so. Thanks for the follow, Magus of the Space, of X Space. 10th is pretty elegant. No attacks. Alright. Get in with the Goyf. Yeah, there are 2 spoilers on CSL. I'm hoping we get our last Mythic on CSL. And pass the turn. We probably are going to win by clock accidentally. Crazy Doan, thank you very much for the follow. Well, not how we drew it up, but our opponent somehow managed to go through their entire clock with the Storm deck. Community Super League, a big streaming event they do on Thursday nights. Thanks for the follows, by the way, everyone. Very appreciated. DG, thank you. All right, well, we're on to round 4, currently 0-3, or 3-0, rather. Not 0-3 tonight. 3-0. Polmu, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we are keeping the dream alive. 2 more to go. I want to see your sweet average face. Yeah, I think we're going to do the face cam thing at some point. Thank you, everyone. Follow, follow, follow. So many follows. So anyway, while we're waiting for this match, reminders. Also, I do have a good beard in my Twitter picture. Reminders, playmats are available down below. If you click down, you can get an MTG Goldfish playmat, super stylish. You get the really cool goldfish. So if you want to support the site, that's a way to do it. Also, if you want to see stream replays, MTG Goldfish replay. Thank you, a whole string of follows. I can't even keep up with the names, but you all are awesome. Thank you so much. All right, match 4, here we go. I am Andrew Ryan. Thank you for the follow. All right, we get to play first. And all right, this is a good aggro-y hand. Destiny Dude, thank you very much. Can you make a cooler playfish? Well, this is the official playmat right now. It's possible that we make more in the future. I don't know if I would say they would be cooler, but yes, thanks. Thank you to everyone who just followed. Super, super awesome of you. Too many to keep track of. Pink Popo. I caught that one. I don't know. I haven't figured out the emotes yet. Boom Boom Sauce. Thank you for the follow. Well, we're up against the aggro deck finally. Well, we probably need green mana. Let's get a breeding pool here. A beard on the fish? I'll have to ask Richard about that one. Alright, forest. Oh, do we want to just pass and try to spell snare? If we play Goyf, they just kill it. Yeah, let's pass. Bearded Goldfish mat. I would use it. Come on, opponent, play Goyf. Make me look smart. Or play a Goblin Guy to make me look stupid. Well, we're gonna find out. We have a tracker on top. Well, we gotta crack this. We can't draw a tracker here. Z Magic, thank you for the follow. Our opponent's also gonna crack. Sacred Foundry, untapped. What do they have? A bolt? A white stifle? We'll just get a stomping grounds. Astor, thank you for the follow. Yeah, save your energy for your own beard. It takes some work to grow a good beard. Actually, not really. Actually, it takes less work to grow a good beard because you don't have to shave. Oh, this is not looking good. I think we need to traverse for a land. Yeah, we'll get an island. Play the island. And Goif. Lefty Roadster, thank you for the follow. Future, thank you for the follow. Down to 10. We're probably just going to lose to a Tarkus command or something. Attacks with both. We get a Mishra's Bobble. Well, our opponent was on the play as well this game, which I think helps. No, my phone's not buzzing. It might be in the music. A little buzzy. Are we getting blown out is the question. Yeah, there's a Tarkus command. Well, we're kind of alive unless our opponent ever draws a bolt. Yeah, Nikado would have killed the Goif. Fireball Brothers, thank you so much for the follow. Lavamancer on top. Alright, let's ooze. Pass the turn. Get a land. I think CSL starts at 8, I believe. And we'll be... alright, well, we get paid off for leaving up Spell Snare for the time being. No attacks. Another Spell Snare. Well, let's gain a life so we're out of the range of a bolt. Scalding Tarn. I don't know if we can attack. Probably should have attacked there. We're a little stabilized, but not really. I think they still have us. I probably should have attacked with Goif. Rift Bolt. We don't have a counter for Rift Bolt. Double Rift Bolt? Oh! Okay. I don't know if we can draw anything to beat double Rift Bolt. Alright. Yeah, we're not beating double Rift Bolt. I'll change the song. I think this song is giving the phone buzzing impression. Alright, aggro, eh? Well, we can bring in Spellskites. Bring in Thrag Tusk. Go down, probably Gut Shot. They have Lavamancer. Gut Shot isn't horrible. Spell Snare hits some things. Can you not hear it? It's quiet. Maybe it's too quiet. What are we going down? Yep, mistakable for buzzing. Let's go down Witness. Yeah, we can go down a Spell Snare and a Tracker. Yeah, Tracker is fairly slow. We're on the play, though. Yes, I think sleeves will happen at some point. Oh, no lander. Is the dream dying? Oh, this hand's not bad for being 6. Thanks for the follow, V-Wood. We'll keep this. Do we want a 3rd land? Probably not at the moment. Let's probe, see what our opponent has. Boros Charm, Goblin Guide, Bolt, Blaze, Skullcrack, Nakatl. What cards am I most hyped for? And thank you for the follows. What cards am I most hyped for in Eternal Masters? I think Mana Crypt will be a sweet reprint for Commander players. Also, personally, I'm a big fan of Winter Orb and locking people out of games, so there's always that. Let's get Steam Vents tapped. Ooh. Alright, let's just play Stomping Grounds tapped and then plan on bolting something. Our opponent definitely has burn spells. Thanks for the follow, Logos. Yeah, he wanted to know if they were running burn spells. Well, I wanted to cast it on turn 1. And we would have had to fetch and for an untapped land, which would have cost us just as much life. Snapcaster on top. Snapcaster's solid. So we can bolt the Nakatl. Our opponent bolts us. And then we can... Oh, we can't really spell Skite. Let's just pass and Snapcaster the Bolt on Goblin Guide. Build a deck around Rites of Spring. Sweet. Give us a land, Goblin Guide, please. Traverse. Alright. Well, Snapcaster... Bolt, Flashback Volt, Bolt. Alright, they're going to Searing Blaze our Snapcaster. We bolt their Goblin Guide. Let's traverse for a land. Probably just an island. Play the island and play a Spellskite. So hopefully we can flip Jace next turn. Well, in 2 turns. Play Jace next turn, flip it the following turn with Spellskite for protection. Yeah, this matchup doesn't feel great. Eidolon, yikes. Eidolon's annoying. Alright, Jace, take 2. Forest, go. What do you think? Do you think Deck Builder's Essentials is good value on Moto? No, not really. I wouldn't want to buy it. I think you mostly get bulk cards, so I don't think it's a very good value overall. Alright, we'll change the target. Oh, this doesn't work, does it? Does this work? Yeah, it works. Alright. I was confused for a second. Gets in with Eidolon. Yikes. Yeah, we're probably dead anyway. This does feel like a pretty bad matchup. And Skullcrack. Yikes. Yeah, Eidolon's pretty absurd. Well, the 5-0 dream has died. But the 4-1 dream is still going strong. So 3-1. Lost to aggro, unfortunately. Yeah, it didn't even feel very close, really. Yeah, I guess 3 and 2 is also still alive. Can you change both targets of Kolaghan's command to Spell Sky? I don't think so. You're not... We need to activate Delirium, though. Giant Solifuge, eh? I don't know about Giant Solifuge. Is there any new spoilers I've missed since I've been streaming? Apparently not. Not that I'm seeing. Yeah, Singer Autocrat is sweet. Are there other Surf Token producers? Is that even a thing? Alright, here we go. Last match of our league. Oh, we're up against a 4-0 for some reason. Moko. MCO. Oh, Zero Lander. Alright, this is better. What do you think about a block-themed Commander Clash? Oh, that would be sweet, where we each get cards from a certain block. I think that would be pretty cool. Monk, thank you for the follow. Alright, Probe. Tasker, Wall of Omens. Alright, this is just like Abzan mid-range, apparently. Bobble. Let's crack Bobble targeting us. Goyf on top. Alright, Rainforest, pass the turn. Darkin, thank you for the follow. Alright, we get the Goyf. Our opponent does have a path. Hey, what's up, Jake? I think the next Commander Clash will be Friday night or Saturday morning is when it usually comes out. So let's get a Stomping Grounds? Sure, Stomping Grounds. Now let's Bobble. Crack Bobble. Traverse. Ugh. Well, I think we're shuffling it away anyway to play a threat here. Scalding Tarn. Get a Breeding Pool. And let's just play Inuse for now. How you doing, Jake? Pass the turn. Oh, sweet. Working on Pauper videos. That's a good reason to miss the stream. Root for Jake? You should be rooting for me. I'm just kidding. I was looking at the top of our deck because we had fetch lands. The second time I probably should have looked at our opponents because I was going to fetch there regardless, but... Alright, let's probe for life again. They can't really punish us too much. Omens, 2 Tassigers, and lands. Alright, that's good. So now we get to Goyf, Scalding Tarn, pass the turn. Start getting some pressure on. Yeah, Mongoose seems sweet for Pauper. What about Emperor Crocodile, Jake? Is that Pauper playable? Le Petit. Thank you for the follow. Hopefully they didn't draw into a path. Alright, crack Scalding Tarn. Get a Steam Vents. Ooh, gut shot. Alright, get in with Goyf. Opponent's going to block. Alright, pass the turn. So we have a bunch of burn, which is nice, but we got to get in some creature damage if it's going to be enough to win the game. Okay, Jake. Yeah, I'll ping you on Skype or something. This is our last match from the stream, and then it's Momir night on Community Super League. Their delving is slowing us down. Alright, Wooded Foothills. Well, let's attack with Goyf. See what our opponent does. Alright, let's just bolt our opponent. Kill the Wall of Omens. Grow our Goyf. Pass the turn. Thanks for the follow, Fire Dog. Oh, really? They drew a path? Okay. Well, we get a land. That's still bad news, though. Gonna attack with Stirring Wildwoods. Well, I think we need to snap Bolt on Tass. Well, they have another Tassiger. Let's Snapcaster for Lightning Bolt. Hit. We're gonna Gut Shot, finally. Hit the Stirring Wildwood. Gut Shot Stirring Wildwood. Gut Shot coming through in the clutch. But we are also down to 5. We really need another Goyf, maybe? Well, that's, Tireless Tracker is kind of good. Tracker. Pass the turn. Oh, they drew more removal? Alright, Wooded Foothills. Crack it. Get a forest. Get a clue token. They have another Tassiger in hand, so killing Tassiger doesn't actually help us very much. Because they're just going to play another Tassiger. And they empty their graveyard, so we won't have as big of Goyfs. On the page for spoilers, how do I decide what cards get their prices shown? I think that some of the cards just aren't listed on the sites yet as far as the pricing, and that's why some do and some don't have prices listed. Alright, Traverse. Gets us... Do we just have to get Pia and Karen? Probably. Yeah, Huntmaster would be good. I guess Snapcaster is fine. Maybe Ewet? Ewet, get back. Snapcaster. Flashback Traverse. That's true. Temur Traverse does sound good. Goyf would be a 5/6. So I guess it's big enough, but if they kill it, then we just lose. Alright, we'll try Goyf. This option leaves us dead to a removal spell. Activates Tassiger. Gets an Inquisition. Why did they do that? Alright. They had the removal spell. This deck has a ton of removal. Yeah, I have been thinking about doing an investigate deck. I think we will end up doing one at some point. I guess, yeah. Their play would have made more sense if they left up black mana to be able to cast their discard spell. Well, Tasker and Keranos seem good. Gutshot does not seem good. We kind of need our janky burn spells to turn on Delirium, though, so we can't just get rid of all of them. Spell Snare is good here. Ooze is fine. Alright, let's try it like that. Alright. We get to play first, and... ooh, we have Keranos. Alright, this hand is okay. We got our Serum Vision, our one of Serum Vision. Yeah, let's probe. Yeah, is Bog that important in this matchup? Abrupt Decay, Birds, Maelstrom Paul's Thoughtseize. Well, Bobble. Crack Bobble, target us. Thought Scour. Alright, let's just play Island. Serum Visions. Let's leave both on top. And pass the turn. Yeah, we do have the ability to get it back, though. With our Eternal Witness, which we can get off of Traverse. So that's kind of our plan, is to traverse it back. I saw some people on Twitter say they play way worse when they are on stream. Do you think that holds weight, or is it just an excuse? I think I play slightly worse. You just have an extra layer of stuff to do, talking to the chat and keeping track of stuff and all that. So I think, not all the time, but sometimes I think I play worse. I don't think it happens every game, but on occasion I get distracted. So they do take Keranos. We will Wooded Foothills, pass the turn, leave up our Leak. Yeah, Wall of Omens is fine. I think there's a very slight chance that they would print Goyf in a normal set. Thought Scour ourselves. Get a Spell Snare. Isn't the worst. Foothills, crack it, get a... Let's get a Breeding Pool. Another Traverse. Alright, let's Traverse. For... they're going to kill whatever we play. Let's just take Snapcaster. At least we get value off of Snapcaster. Land. Snapcaster. Gitaxian Probe. I mean, if you ever watch my videos, I definitely punt a lot anyway. So I don't think that it's a huge difference. Take another peek at our opponent's hand. Draw a card. 2 removal spells, a Tech Edge, and a Birds. Alright. Well, Bobble. Crack it. Opponent's drawing a... Yeah, I don't know why this deck is playing Wall of Omens. It's kind of odd. Drawing a Thoughtseize, which is a little bit annoying. It can take our Traverse. Bobble gets us a Jace. I mean, it's a good blocker, and it cycles, so I guess it's not the absolute worst. There's the Thoughtseize. Eventually, we want to get in the position where we can Traverse for Eternal Witness, get back Keranos, and then cast Keranos, and then we should be in good shape for actually winning. There's the Birds. So our opponent's hand is just lands, Abrupt Decay, and Maelstrom Pulse. Alright, let's Traverse here. Get the Eternal Witness. Steam Vents, untapped, pass the turn. Yeah, it is possible to get turn 1 Delirium with the nuts. Yeah, against aggro decks, Well of Omens is fine. Good, even. Tech Edge. So our opponent going to start going after our mana? Looks like. Yep, Tech Edge are Stomping Grounds. Well, now we need mana to cast Eternal Witness. Tarfire is a tribal instant for Delirium on turn 1. I don't think you can actually cast the Traverse on turn 1. You can activate Delirium, but you can't actually cast the Traverse. But yes, Seal, Gut Shot. I guess with Gut Shot you could actually cast it. Well, let's Probe. Not paying life. We pretty much just want to hit lands. Land, Abrupt Decay. Another Lightning Bolt. Alright, pass the turn. We're probably going to start getting beaten down by this Stirring Wildwood. We're pretty short on mana right now, unfortunately. Temple Garden, tapped. Not going to attack. Land? Alright, Misty is good. So Misty, crack Misty. Get a Forest. And Eternal Witness. Get back our Keranos. So now we're just hoping we draw a land and can play Keranos next turn. Yeah, our first game of the whole league, I think we had a 5-6 Goyf on attacking, or on turn 2. And then another one on turn 3. Oh! That's a big draw. Are we dead to Siege Rhino? Almost. Well, let's Bolt Siege Rhino. Get a Mountain. God, I hope we have a Mountain. Alright, Mountain. That actually kind of worked out that they Ghost Quartered us, or we... Whoa! Okay. We gotta kill the Siege Rhino before they skip phases. That actually worked out. Land? For Keranos? Alright, we're doing it. We have a Keranos. We're not super alive. They can hit us down to... Well, actually, can they Abrupt Decay and Stirring Wildwood? Not necessarily. Ooh, Township, too? Jeez. Well, this is going to be close. Oh, no! They drew... Yikes. They drew a removal spell that wasn't Abrupt Decay. The problem is now they have Abrupt Decay for next turn, which I don't know. We're going to need to draw something really good to not die to that. Mana Leak is not the really good thing. And that is the end of it. Oh, alright. Well, we started off 3-0, then stumbled down the stretch. I have to say, this deck actually seems pretty complicated to play. For just picking it up for the first time, the first match I ever played with the deck is when we started the stream. The deck itself seems pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of in-depth interactions with Traverse as far as what to fetch at the right time, when to get it back, how to loop it. So I think it's a deck that we could have done a bit better with if I had been playing it more often. So I think that was part of it, is just an experience. But it seems reasonable. It seems like a reasonable deck. The aggro matchup does seem pretty rough. But it was pretty fun. It had some really cool interactions. It plays a lot of fun cards, some counters, some tempo plays, Snapcasters. So it plays a lot of cool stuff. Anyway, don't forget, playmats are available down below. Also, if you're looking for old streams, you can find them on MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube. Yeah, I do have a Possibility Storm deck. We might have to play that sometime. I don't have a... Do I have... I don't even know if I have a combo list of it. This is a bad deck we played on stream the other day. I think there's a combo list. Yeah, I don't have the cards for it. But this is the combo version of the Paladin deck that we haven't played yet. Mentors, Paladins, a million zero-cost equipments. So you can go off with Mentor and Paladin. Retract to bounce all your zero-cost stuff back to your hand to keep going. Muddles to find the Paladins. And also to find the Grape Shot, which is the kill condition. Curse of Exhaustions with Fevered Visions and Possibility Storm. I'd have to think about that. Maybe. Anyway, I think that's all for tonight. Jump over and check out the Community Super League if you're interested on twitch.tv/magic. Like I said, MTG Goldfish Replay. Follow the stream if you haven't yet. That would be awesome. But thank you, everyone, for hanging out. It was a blast. We had a ton of follows, a ton of views. Pretty fun deck. So, be back Tuesday is the next one. So, we're off for the holiday weekend, but Tuesday we will be back with the next stream. So, thanks, everyone, and I will talk to you soon.